What's up, YouTube? It's T Money. Today we're going to be doing college football week 10 predictions. I missed last week, but we're going to actually go over a little bit some of the games last week. Both Iowa teams were ranked for the first time since week 1 last week. Iowa State, unfortunately, falling to Oklahoma State, giving Iowa State their first loss in October since 2016, I think. It was ever since Matt Campbell actually joined Iowa State. So, yeah, not a good start, or not a good end to October, but they did go 3-1, which isn't bad. They do have a bye week this week, being unranked, and so does Iowa. So both the Iowa schools are on a bye week this week. So we're just gonna gun through the predictions this week. So today we're going to be starting off with West Virginia at number 12, Baylor. West Virginia coming off, let me pull it up real fast. West Virginia coming off a loss, a massive loss, their third straight loss to Oklahoma after losing to Texas and Iowa State the prior weeks. They are now going to Baylor, who is undefeated, taking down Oklahoma State. Being their last matchup, which means they were off last week. This week they're playing West Virginia. I'm gonna give Baylor the win. Baylor's just been turning it on recently, and Baylor I don't know what it is about them. It's just Baylor has just. They went from a team that sucked last year to a team that's a Big 12 contender in one season. Jesus. Next up, we have Georgia Southern at Appalachian State. Both these games are Thursday night. Georgia Southern coming off a 41-7 victory over New Mexico State, while Appalachian State's coming off a massive win over University of Southern Alabama, 30-3. I'm actually going to say Georgia Southern does pull off this upset because of the fact that they did score more points last week, and Appalachian State is a really good football club this year, but I still don't see Appalachian State going undefeated the entire year. And I think their loss is going to be to Georgia Southern this week. Next up, we have Boise State. Oh, no, wait. That's the nightcap. So let's move into the afternoon games, where we have Michigan at Maryland. Holy crap. First off, Michigan, Maryland, this is going to be an interesting one. Maryland having a very weird kind of year. They're 3-5. They've lost every game except for when they played Rutgers. But yeah, if they lose one more, they're basically out of bowl contention. And I'm going to think that actually does happen. Maryland's going to lose to Michigan. Yeah, enough said on that one. Next up, we have NC State taking on Wake Forest. Wake Forest, holy crap. They're here to play. Bowl eligibility last week. The last game they played, being the victors. Now, moving on, and I don't even know how they're ranked when they lost to Louisville. How is Wake Forest ranked right now, is my question. But anyway, NC State, coming off the loss to Boston College, battle in the ACC, I'm going to give this to Wake Forest. Wake Forest, again, they're having the year of their lives. It's gonna be a good year for them, so just watch out because Wake Forest is gonna turn it on and they will pull off the win against NC State, and it might be by a lot. Next game up, I have Notre Dame and Virginia Tech at Notre Dame. This game's gonna be on NBC. because Notre Dame doesn't play on ESPN or CBS a lot, so they're mainly on NBC now. Their loss last week was Michigan, 16 losing to no. Hold on. Different rankings when they played each other. Yes, 19 beating 8 at the time, so another upset happened last week. Another top 10 upset in the year. I'm going to say, and Virginia Tech coming off a 6, yes, I said 6 overtime thriller victory to North Carolina. I watched that entire overtime. That was a fucking good game. Pardon my language, but that was a good game. But yeah, Notre Dame, yes, Virginia Tech coming off that win. I'm going to still give it to Notre Dame. Notre Dame's just too good. And I don't see Virginia Tech doing what they did again, being able to win. Next up, our first, and I think our only top 10 matchup of the week. Not our only top 25, but our only top 10 matchup of the week. And this is my game of the week. The Battle of the Border between Georgia and Florida. A great rivalry here. Georgia had that one loss, and it was a stunning one, to South Carolina a couple weeks ago, losing in double overtime. Florida's only big loss was to LSU, who is now ranked number 1 in the AP poll, which I agree fully on that, by the way. I agree fully on that, by the way. It's gonna be in Jacksonville, and I do believe, and if Florida wins, their playoff contentions are still alive. If Georgia wins, they're back in the playoff hunt. Georgia needs a big win. We're gonna hold this pick to the end, because it's such a big game that I'm gonna have to pick that one last. Next up, the battle for the Flower State, as Kansas State goes to Lawrence to take on the Kansas Jayhawks. The first Big 12 matchup, actually the second Big 12 matchup of the top 25 schedule. Oklahoma being off this week as well. They go to Iowa State next week. They play Iowa State next week. We will cover that one when it happens, but right now, we're still on this week. We have Kansas State and Kansas. It's a pair of first-year coaches dueling it off this weekend. I'm sorry, I was reading the article here. I'm trying to see what's the rivalry called. If you guys know what this rivalry is called, please put that in the link in the description below. Or not the link, in the comment section below. But Kansas State and Kansas both coming off wins. Yes, I said it. Kansas came off a win. Is coming off a win. I don't say that much, but Kansas is starting to become a really good football squad. It's scaring me. So, yeah, Kansas coming off another win. Their third of the year, but it ends a 4-game losing streak. So, and Kansas State, well done. Upsetting the top dog in the Big 12 in Oklahoma. Last week, I think Kansas State has the firepower. Kansas, you might have the defense and you might have firepower, but Kansas State's got you beat. And it's going to be Kansas State all the way. Next up, we have Wofford and Clemson. Just a random game out there. We already know Clemson's going to win. Clemson's favored by 99.7%. So yeah, this wins Clemson's. This game's not even going to be on ACC Network, so I don't even know. I've never even heard of Wofford before. Next up, scrolling through the list here, we have the Utah Utes at Washington. Washington coming off a very good... My girlfriend called me while I was talking, so apologize on that. She was on her 15-minute break at work, so gotta talk to her while she's on her 15, right? Mystic Blue Queens, her YouTube channel. Just go look it up. Mystic Blue Queens, the only one that's titled that. I'm there too. I'm on 99.9% of her videos. I missed her 99.9%. So, yeah. We were talking about, right before she called me, the Utah Utes and the Washington Huskies game. This game is going to be interesting. Oh yeah, by the way, we did get an iPad. That's what I'm using now for the predictions. Because, one, much faster to run. Except when much faster than using my actual laptop. Because my laptop actually uses desktop, like a actual. You have to hit search, and then it loads a lot. This one, ew, do not want to do that. This one just has all the games listed on the side right here, which is cool. So yeah, we were on Washington and Utah, and I do have a pick from Mystic Blue Queen herself. She does not watch football, but I had her choose between the Georgia and Florida game because that's the biggest game of the week. So, we're talking about Utah, Washington. Washington coming off an incredible game against Oregon, even though it was a loss. They could have easily won that game. Just want to point that out. That could have been a win. And Utah coming off a shutout victory over California. I'm actually gonna say... Oh, this is a close one. I can't pick between these ones for some reason. I'm going to say that Washington pulls off the upset. Utah, you are a really good football squad. Washington, you are an even better football squad. Yes, you've beaten a top 25 team earlier in the year. Yes, you have lost to a top 25 team early in the year. Meaning last week. Actually, 2 weekends ago. Let me point that out. I just looked up at the calendar and just realized that they didn't... It's been the 19th since they played a full football, so they're itching to get on the field. Last week was the Utah-California game, so Utah actually winning that game. The Huskies are looking for a victory, and I believe they're going to get it. Washington's going to pull off an upset, and that's going to be another top 10 team going down this year. So yeah, look out for that upset. It could be a big one. Next up, we have the Ole Miss Rebels and the Auburn Tigers. Ole Miss having a terrible year, coming off their second straight loss of the in back-to-back losses. Missouri being their first loss and Texas A&M being their second straight loss. And then Auburn coming off a thriller of a football game between the LSU Tigers, or against the LSU Tigers, losing 23-20, which prevailed LSU to become the number one ranked team in the NCAA college football this year. And this is the first time we've had either a different team outside Alabama or Clemson since Ohio State a couple years ago when the college football playoff originally started. No, wait a minute. That was even before that, I think. I'll have to look because I'll have to look at that because it's been a couple years since we've been outside the Alabama #1 ranked era for a while. Alabama and Clemson. It's been those two teams being 1 and 2 and facing each other in the playoff. We now have a new #1 being LSU, and I wait till next week though. Wait till next week. Next week's gonna be interesting. But yeah, coming back to the Ole Miss Auburn game, I'm going to give the win to Auburn. Auburn's just too good. Auburn's just that good. Next up, we have Cincinnati at East Carolina. Cincinnati coming off their, I think their fifth straight win. I'm looking, hold on. I think it's their 6th straight win. Yeah, coming out their fifth straight win. Their only loss of the year, you really can't count it against them because it's Ohio State, 42-0. But ever since that loss, they've turned it on. 35-13 over Miami of Ohio, 52-14 over Marshall, giving UCF their first official loss in the regular season since 3 seasons ago. 27-24. Dominating Houston 38-23. And then beating Tulsa 24-13. The win over UCF, putting them in the top 25. And they haven't looked back since. They're going up against the East Carolina Pirates. I believe that's what they're called. It's just East Carolina, we'll just call them that. Coming off a loss to the USF Bulls. 45-20 was the score for that game. I want to say, I'm going to give the win to Cincinnati. Unless East Carolina actually pulls something miraculous out of their darn hats, this game is not going to be close. This game will not be close at all. Because the fact that, gosh dang it, I'm trying not to yawn. Give me 1 second. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to give Cincinnati the win. Next up on the list, SMU and Memphis, number 15 at number 24. Memphis back in the top 25 since 2 seasons ago. When they actually lost to Iowa State in the Liberty Bowl, which they host. Just a quick heads up on that. I'm gonna get, let me go back. Let's go down and look at their previous games. Okay, so they're actually, they've both had their bye weeks so far, so, sorry, I'm trying not to yawn here. SMU coming off the win against Houston, and Tulsa, and Memphis coming off the win against Tulsa. I'm going to give the win to, I say Memphis pulls off the upset. It's at Memphis, so why not? Second to last game of the week, we've got Oregon and USC at Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum. At the LA Memorial Coliseum. Both these teams coming off wins. Oregon sweeping the state of Washington. That's to point out. Washington State and Washington almost beat these guys. Almost. Oregon, you escaped Washington 35-31. Okay, 4-point game. See if you can turn it around. Almost losing to Washington this next week. 37-35. You are going up against a USC team that's looking to take you down. And it's gonna happen. USC is gonna pull off the upset over Oregon. That'd be the second top 10 team that loses this week. Who's the other one? Well, we have to go back. Well, hold on. I've got to do one more game, and that is the UNI Panthers, who actually are at Illinois State this weekend. Game starting at noon Central Time on ESPN Plus. Northern Iowa coming off the win, 29-6. Illinois State coming off the win against Indiana State, 24-7. I'm going to give the win to Northern Iowa. Not because I'm from Iowa. Don't you hate Illinois State fans. I can see you typing in the comments, why are you going for an Iowa teams? You only live in Iowa. It's not a biased thing, guys. I don't even watch Northern Iowa. I barely get a chance to. Like this weekend, I'm only going to be able to watch maybe the first half. That's it. But I'm going to be paying attention to other games. So, quit the angry talk now. Watching you. But yeah, I'm going to give the win to Northern Iowa. Final game of the weekend. The biggest game where game day is located at, I believe. The Battle of the Florida-Georgia line. So, Mystic Blue Queen gave me a pick for this game. From her, she thinks Florida is going to pull off the win in the Swamp. You know what? Bulldog fans, I am sorry, but this is strictly business. Give me that gay in the head. I'm going with Florida. Florida is going to continue their playoff chances. Georgia, your playoff chances are done. That loss to South Carolina is going to worry you too much the rest of the season, and you're going to play too cautiously. And you guys are going to end up losing to the Gators. So that's this week's picks. What do you guys think? Leave your picks down in the comment section down below. I would love to hear from you guys. I rarely see comments on my videos. Please leave a comment. If you're new, go ahead and subscribe to this channel. We're doing a lot more sports content. We're going to do a lot of fun content here in a few. Once I get done recording this video and Mystic Blue gets off of work, we might be doing a Whisper Challenge video. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. And as always, guys, it's morphin' time, as Mystic Blue Queen would say. I'm signing off for now, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out, guys.